Class 8 English, Tsunami, Part 3. Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue with the third part of the chapter, the tsunami. Look carefully at the picture of the boy and his dog and try to describe the things that you see using just words and phrases. So look at the picture. The picture is showing a boy with a dog. There is nobody around. And what are the things you see around the boy in the picture? Going to the lesson. Before the giant waves slammed into the coast in India and Sri Lanka, wild and domestic animals seemed to know what was about to happen. That means before the tsunami struck the people and before the people could realize the destruction caused by the tsunami, the birds and animals, the domestic animals, the wild animals, they seemed to know that there was something going to happen. They could sense it in advance. They fled to safety. According to eyewitness accounts, elephants screamed and ran for high grounds. Dogs refused to go outdoors. Flamingos abandoned their low-lying breeding areas. And the zoo animals rushed into their shelters and could not be enticed to come back out. That means the behavior of the animals changed. They knew that they were in trouble and they were going towards safety. The elephants were going to some higher places where the water cannot reach them. The dogs will not go out. Then the flamingos, they abandoned their low-lying breeding areas and they went higher up. And the zoo animals also refused to come out of their shelters. Many people believe the animals possess a sixth sense and know when the earth is going to shake. Some experts believe that animals' more acute hearing helps them to hear or feel the earth's vibration. They can sense an approaching disaster long before humans realize what's going on. So these are the different beliefs of the people. Some people believe that animals possess a sixth sense. We are supposed to have 5 senses, but the animals have one more extra. And with this sixth sense, they are able to know when the earth is going to shake in advance. Then some other people say that they have acute sense of hearing and that helps them to feel, to hear the vibration of the earth before we can do. So they can sense an approaching disaster long before the human beings can do. We cannot be sure whether animals have a sixth sense or not, but the fact is that the giant waves that rolled through the Indian Ocean killed more than 150,000 people in a dozen countries, but not many animals have been reported dead. Now, whatever the case may be, whether they have sixth sense or they have acute sense of hearing, one thing we are sure of. What is that thing we are sure of? The tsunami that hit the Indian Ocean killed 150,000 people in a dozen countries. But the number of deaths of the animals were very few. Not many animals have been reported. That means the animals were able to go to some secure, some safe place before the tsunami came. Along India's Kodalur coast, where thousands of people perished, buffaloes, goats, and dogs were found unharmed. People perished, people died, but the buffaloes and goats and dogs, they were found unharmed. The Yala National Park in Sri Lanka is home to a variety of animals, including elephants, leopards, and 130 species of birds. So we are talking about Yala National Park in Sri Lanka, where there are so many elephants, so many leopards, and so many birds. 60 visitors were washed away from the Patalanga beach inside the park. So how many visitors were washed away inside the park? 60 visitors were washed away. 60 people were washed away. But no animal carcass were found. No dead bodies of animals were found, except for 2 water buffaloes. So only 2 water buffaloes were reported dead. About an hour before the tsunami hit, people at Yala National Park had observed 3 elephants running away from Patanangala beach. So, elephants were seen running away before the tsunami was felt by the people, and there were 2 water buffaloes who were killed. They could not escape. A Sri Lankan gentleman who lives on the coast near Gale said his 2 dogs would not go for their daily run on the beach. They are usually excited to go on this outing, he said, but on that day they refused to go and most probably saved his life. So this gentleman says that the dogs sensed that something was coming, and so they refused to go out. Otherwise, they used to be so happy, so excited about going to the beach and running. But that particular day, they refused to go, and the master also did not go, and that is how the master was saved by the dogs. Now, in this part, we notice something. We notice that the animals have some sense, whether it is a sixth sense or whether it is that extraordinarily powerful hearing sense that has enabled them to sense the coming of earthquakes and tsunamis well ahead of time, and gives them time enough to go and seek shelter in some places where it is safe. That is the reason why the animals were not killed. And compared to men, we can say that there is no death at all, because the number of deaths of human beings is so high. So children, this is the end of the story of the tsunami. And today, after reading this unit number 3, please go to the comprehension check and write 3 of the answers. There are 4 questions. You choose any 3 of your choice and write the answer. I'm not giving you all. In the tsunami, 150,000 people died. How many animals died? Very small answer. How many people and animals died in Yala National Park? Then number 3, what do people say about the elephants of Yala National Park? And number 4, what did the dogs in Gali do? So these are the 4 questions out of which you choose any 3 you like and write it as homework in your homework notebook and send it to our group. Thank you. God bless you.